So we're seeing homes in the Greater Toronto area, places like King City down 50%, Brampton down 40%, Mississauga down 35, and RBC, the Royal Bank of Canada, is saying that it's going to drop another 25%. My goodness, some crazy things are happening in the market today. We're going to be talking about what we can do about it and how to save you some more money. Let's get into it. All right, you guys, we're going to be jumping into this story today. If you like this type of stuff, please remember to like this video, subscribe to this video, and hit that little bell notification. It would really help us out. If it provides you any value at the end of the video, try to send it to one person that you think this can help. Now, let's just jump straight into the story, you guys. This story is that Canada's home resales will fall 23% in 2022 and another 15% in 2023 by RBC Bank. Now, let's jump into this story because, my goodness, there's a lot to unpack here. So this story is from the Daily Hive. We can get this is the Royal Bank of Canada. They're saying that the rising interest rates have led to the end of Canada's pandemic era housing market boom. Really? You guys think you're kind of a couple months late here. Both prices and sales will continue to tumble in 2023. You hear that? So this is not going to be a short-term thing. This isn't going to be over tomorrow, right? They're expecting it to continue. Now, why? Well, if we go down a little bit farther, Robert Haig, assistant chief economist at RBC. So this isn't a schlep, right? He's not just a teller. Assistant chief economist said the bottom is still a ways away. Now, why would you think it would be a ways away? Well, they're also saying that further rate hikes still to come. Another 100 basis points. So remember, a basis point is like a cent, 100 cents in a dollar. So 1% is 100 basis points. So they expect another 1%, essentially, interest increase in the fall. The bottom is likely many months away. That is not cool. What are once overheated markets in Ontario and British Columbia's lower mainland have turned into the epicenter of downturn to date. Yes, because if we go and read here from the February peak, what is it going to tell us? Cambridge is down 17%. Kitchener-Waterloo down 16, Brantford down 14, London 14, Guelph is down 10. Okay, but this is not correct when it's talking about Toronto and Vancouver. When we talk about them, here's what he says. On a monetary level, the loss of value is striking. Striking because in Toronto, we are seeing all kinds of deadly, crazy things happening. But remember, the 1 and 2 bedroom condos are not going down. They're holding their own, right? Because everybody likes to downsize in their own city, but not very many people like to move their city. So they're okay. But the larger the home, the more the drop. And that's why I keep showing people Brampton is down 40%, Mississauga down 35%, and King City is down 50%. But those homes in King City were 3.2 million. Now they're down to 1.6. The bigger the price, the farther that they're going to drop, not just in percentage, but also in dollar value. But this is where the biggest markets, Toronto and Vancouver, the most overheated ones are the ones that are going to fall the most. Whereas the article mentions about Alberta, they only expect it to drop 3%. But these other places might be losing 50 or 60 because Alberta never experienced that massive monumental rise that Toronto and Vancouver did. So lots to think about in here, right? Let's get back into this article because I feel it's very big when a big bank like Royal Bank is calling it striking. Now, these payments are going to be continually going up, and they're saying the worst is to come. RBC expects the Bank of Canada's 100 basis point interest rate in July to be met with another 100-point increases over September and October's rate announcements. So I don't know if they're seeing a 1% increase in September and a 1% increase in October. Is that how you would read that? Could be met with an additional 1% increase over September and October's rate announcements. So maybe they're only expecting 1%. Maybe they're expecting 2%. Anyway, what the RBC projects, the national home resales will fall 23% this year and a further 15% next year. Wow. Okay, so this has not happened since the 90s, right? And that was a government-designed drop. This is where they're mentioning Alberta will see a drop of less than 3%. Nothing. Adding to the reason why I love Alberta, not just because my dad's from there, not because my wife is from there, but because the laws, right? We always want to invest where the laws love landlords. But here is what I prepared for you. If we look at this chart, you guys, just imagine in 2021, you were a little bit cocky. Maybe you bought a home a little bit too expensive, 2% mortgage. You were feeling really, really brave at $2,000 because most people don't buy the home based on price. They buy the home based on their mortgage payment, And so they go, what can I afford? Give me everything that I can afford. So it's $2,000. So this is a designed destruction of demand by the government because they cannot increase supply. If the government cannot increase supply, the only way to reduce inflation is to push down demand. This is a carefully designed thing. So if your payment was $2,000, I just did in 2021, imagine now in 2022 that your payment went to $3,000. It's an extra $1,000 a month. That's not one and over. It's $1,000 a month, obviously, every single month moving forward. And this is where everyone goes into survival mode. I keep telling people this story of this guy that I knew. He was a client. He had an apartment. He says, David, I can't afford $1,000 more per month. By the way, the average monthly payment increase has been $1,073. That's the average increase on people. So I'm like, where are you going to get an extra 1,000? He lives by himself. He doesn't live with anybody. I can't. I already work full time. I don't have a side gig. What are you doing? How are you getting the 1,000? I'm putting on my credit card. So how long do you have left on your credit card? He goes, I got $5,000 room left on my credit card. She has 5 months. What are you going to do after 5 months? He's going to lose his house. Okay, so his time frame is 5 months before his world implodes and he loses the home. So that is not a good plan, right? You need a bigger plan. Hope is not it. They're going to keep at this for a while to push down all that demand. But that guy might last 5 months. Someone else might last 9 months. Someone else might last 12 months. I don't know. But this is always how it works. Do you see this little chart here? So I put 2%, 3%, 4, 5, 6. No matter what happens, the higher the price goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the more the foreclosures. It just goes straight up like that because everybody cannot afford $1,000 more per month. That's a lot of extra money. Most people have their kids, they're in some kind of camp or daycare or something. They cannot afford that. That's a huge chunk of money. Now let's look at another graph and we're going to see how bad can this actually get. Well, if we go over to TD, I was just looking at what their fixed term rates are. I was actually quite surprised. 5.3%, 5-year fixed. I've seen them as high as 6.1 lately. So this is really high, right? Now let's look at a calculator. What I did is let's take this. The average price of a home in Toronto is 1.2 million. So at 1.2 million, you always have to put 20% down. So what I did is I put 20%, the same on all of them. If you ever want my calculator, you can go to roughteamrealty.com and then just look under the buyers calculators. Roughteamrealty.com, my website, and you can get this calculator. So the asking price is here. We put the same 20% down for all of this. And then what do we have? We have the same amortization period. The only thing that's going to change here is the rates. 2% is what it was. Then now it's around 6. Then they're saying it may go to 7 or 8 this year. How does that affect payments? Okay. So last January, a few months ago, your payment on a $1.2 million home, 20% down at 2% would have been $4,000 per month payment. $4,000 per month payment. Now, if it goes up to what it is today, what I've been seeing around 6, that same payment has gone to $6,142. $2,100 more. $2,100. Where do you get that? That's a vacation. That's buying a used car. Like that's not once either. That's every month. Where do you come up with that? Most people would be going and getting equity out of their home, but what happens if the equity has disappeared too? Where do you come up with $2,100? You need another full-time job for that. Okay, that's just dealing with what is already there. Where we are today. Now, what happens if it goes to 7%? Because the RBC was saying there may be 1% increases. If it goes to 7%, $6,724. Unbelievable. What happens if it goes to 8%? $7,300. Are we seeing this? The price is almost doubled from 4,000 to 7,300 per month. Per month. It is impossible for people to pay that. So undoubtedly, nobody can afford those payments. It's not possible. This is a design system to do this, right? So if people cannot pay, more and more homes will come on the market. And as more and more homes come on the market, the prices come down. So you tell me what you're noticing in your area. If it's Denver, Chicago, if it's Australia and Sydney, Melbourne, if you're noticing it in Europe, if you're noticing it in Canada, where are you seeing that home prices are staying the same? They're not, because it's a coordinated increased interest rate hike as inflation is biting everywhere. More homes that come on the market. So the more people that default on these payments, the more there's going to be foreclosures, the more there's going to be homes on the market, the more there's going to be deals. So for people who have large homes, we were just talking yesterday on one of our lives to somebody who was in Montreal, had a 4-bedroom detached home, really big house. Those are the homes that are going to fall the most. But the smaller condos always do really, really well. Rental prices always go up in times like this, and the amount that banks will lend to somebody getting a mortgage will go down. So before, in the US, you could get 97% mortgage. In Canada, usually we'd have to have 80% mortgage on investment, or we would have to have a 95% mortgage on your personal home under 500,000. They may not give you a 95% mortgage anymore. It may be 80, maybe 75. So you're going to have to do more work, come up with more money yourself. So I want you guys to be careful. So if you have a big home, now could be a very good time to sell it. If you have a small home, then it might be a good time to keep it. Really depends on the area, right? Every neighborhood's different. Every city is different. But as a general rule, you want to be in a place that is not going to fall very, very much. So, a lot of the properties that we own haven't gone down at all. In fact, they've gone up. So please weigh it. Really, really think about this. My name is Dave. I'm a broker. I work in Toronto, Canada. And so we operate all around the greater Toronto area, but we consult for people around Canada and United States a lot. So we just did somebody out in Georgia. So we can help you set up your deals, function on your deals, and set up your wealth preservation plan. So you guys, I'm always here for your health, wealth, and happiness. I really want you to do well. I really care about you, and I want you to enjoy yourself and not have this fear on you. The cool thing is once we get past all of this, if we learn from all of this, then we can kind of get to a place where money doesn't rule our lives anymore. So what I can suggest to you is this book is amazing. I've been telling everybody about this book. Also, the Ray Dalio book, The Changing World Order. I really suggest this book. Also very, very good. If you know one person that this would help, please consider sending it to them, just that one person. And if you would like and subscribe to this, it would really mean a lot to me. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you on the next video.